I just went through this. I was like, fuck this. Fuck this. Like, go wreck your society. I'm out. But I'm not getting involved in this process because it's hopelessly broken and like I can only be frustrated by it. I can have no material effect and I'm just out and I've got a million interests. I have a huge family who I am very engaged with and like I'm just gonna tend to their needs and I'm not participate in anything beyond my world. And then a really close and honest friend of mine wrote me this very long letter the day Charlie was killed. And it was very nice. It wasn't scolding, but it was actually corrective in that he said, you are self-indulgent, which I am. You are being self-indulgent and you have a moral obligation to do everything you can with the ever-present knowledge it mostly won't work. It doesn't matter whether you live to see its fruits. You are obligated to try to help in some way. Of course, I showed it to my wife. I was like, God is speaking through him. You need to pay attention. I was like, you're right. You're totally right. So that conversation, which was, well, it was September 11th, I happen to know, when I called him to thank him for this letter, that totally changed my attitude. And I'm just so grateful to have friends who are will take the time to be honest with me about my faults. People I really trust. I'm not, take a lot of criticism. I don't give a shit. But like for the 30 people whose opinions I care about, some of them are really willing to take the time to be honest with me. And I needed to hear that. And I've been in a good mood ever since, despite, we've had a lot of drama in my life and my family since September 11th. It's only been a little over 2 months, but it's like a different world. And since Charlie was murdered, but I've never stopped being cheerful and hopeful because I know that there's a mission way beyond me. And I don't know its outlines. I don't know everything about the mission. I have no secret knowledge, but I can feel very strongly that my job is to tell the truth to the extent that I can. But I know its outlines sometimes, and I have an obligation to say what they are, no matter what the cost to me. And that is such a liberating feeling.
It's hard to, I don't know, man. But we were talking about this earlier too, but you think that because of what you become and what you built, that you have an impact, but do you? We've called
do
so
any
many
of us. I mean,
and
I hate to quote Conan O'Brien, but one of my favorite observations comes from him. In the end, every grave goes unvisited. I see my parents' graves from my kitchen, and so I visit my parents' graves a lot and really love them, blessed to have them as parents. But I'll be buried next to them. But I think a lot. I'm like, in the end, like this will be a subdivision or whatever. Or who knows what it'll be? Nuclear wasteland. I mean, we don't know the future, and we can be certain that we will be forgotten and that all of our efforts will be unrecognized by other people. But that doesn't mean that we don't have an obligation in the present to try our best, to do our best. And I think that everyone has different callings. Of course, everyone has different callings, but I feel strongly that my calling is to tell the truth with the knowledge that most of the time it's fruitless, or if it bears fruit, I won't see it. It's planting an oak tree. Like, you're not going to see it become an oak, but you plant it anyway because that's your duty. And I didn't serve in the military, and I didn't grow up in a duty-oriented society. I grew up in rich person world. So this is something that I have come to believe more than I used to believe. But you do have a duty. You are here for a reason, all of us, and we're all acting in concert, either for good or for evil.